Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Tuesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's continue on with, of course, the sporting theme. Of course, we'll go with the NPL women's in particular. And unfortunately, this year, there was no such season because of our lockdown. But of course, we'll talk a bit about that very soon with, of course, these two amazing players from the Box Hill United NPL team. And of course, their names are Paige and Olivia. They joins us right now. Thanks, both of you, for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. Well, tell us, how has it been like in lockdown? And have either you done anything to hopefully get back on the field again for 2021?
Yeah, it's been hard, but I've gotten into a good routine now, so I'm quite enjoying things, doing a bit of training, just also enjoying things outside of soccer, which has been good.
Yeah, for the first set of lockdown, I moved back to my country town of Chuka, and I was doing just a lot of running and kicking with my dad. Since coming back to Melbourne, my routine hasn't been quite as good, but I have taken up skipping. I thought was harder than I expected.
The season not going ahead this year, I guess how sad or disappointing has that been?
Oh, so sad. I was really cut because we had a really good team this year, and I was really looking forward to it with Jorge, our new coach, and a lot of new girls. And so I was really looking forward to it. So I was pretty disappointed. And I'm starting to really miss it. So can't wait to get back to it.
Yeah, same here. I'm a bit upset about it now. I started in a new club. I was really excited to play with all the girls properly. We played 1 or 2 practice matches, and that was really good. I thought we had a really good chance at having a good season. I followed Jorge. He's a great coach. So I was looking forward to it a lot. So a bit disappointed.
Now, both of you mentioned that, it's a pretty great team going into the 2020 season, obviously, which has been cancelled. Tell us the couple of players that you've managed to recruit for the end up being the cancellation season.
Well, we got Nat Higgins, who I played with in America, and she's absolutely incredible. She's got great fitness, really good feet, and a really good shot on her as well. And she just added that kind of air of experience, which we really needed. So it's disappointing not to play with her again because she's a gun.
Yeah, we only trained with her maybe for a month, and I already learned so much from her. She was just a really incredible player.
Now, you just mentioned about Nat, and obviously you played alongside her. Have you convinced her to come back and play for the 2021 season?
Yeah, I think she might be keen. She was pretty disappointed when she had to go home, so hopefully we can get her back and try get some other more experienced players for next year. Be good as well.
Now, I know the team last year, even though I don't think you quite make the finals last year, but
no.
But I know the highlight would have been the Nike Cup grand final, which unfortunately fell short against Calder, which they seem to win everything. I guess tell us a bit about the week leading up to the grand final.
It was hectic. I can't really remember much of it, but I remember the day pretty vividly. We went and we had a team lunch at this nice restaurant, and then we got this bus to the ground, which was pretty cool. It was pretty surreal. And when we got there, and it was all very professional. I felt like I was playing for a professional team, and it was just, even though we lost, it was such a good experience. And Nike really took that cup and made it something else, compared to the other years, it was really great, and hopefully they'll continue sponsoring that. Because I loved it. It was such a great day.
Now, I have to ask you, now, obviously you mentioned that the whole team came in a bus. It was actually a pretty big bus, I think, if my memory serves me correct. Yourselves and Calder had that opportunity. I guess, once the game was over, I'm assuming that you've got the bus all the way back so you can pick up your cars?
Yes, well, my parents came, so I just went home with them. But yeah, some of them had to go back.
Now, Paige, you mentioned that this is this year was meant to be your first year at Box Hill. Now, because you actually come from a pretty successful club yourself as well. Funny enough, play a very similar colour to Box Hill. I guess for you, Paige, what convinced you to come a bit further east to Box Hill?
Well, obviously the colour blue really dragged me across. It's my favourite colour. Couldn't help it. But no, I think my main factor was Jorge. He was a great coach. I had him on my first year in Melbourne as my coach. I just improved so much. I absolutely loved South Melbourne. Not a bad word to say about them. But I just really thought he could help my development more. And I'm still young. I still want to play at the highest level I can. So I felt like it was just the right move for me. I'd heard great things about Box Hill. They always played really well, and I don't think I've heard another team say a bad word against them. So I knew all the girls were going to be lovely. So they really just helped me sign the deal, I suppose.
Now, I know as well, Paige, that you actually had a teammate from your former club who was joining you at Box Hill in that premiership team a couple of years ago, who unfortunately is not here tonight. Tell us how special to have Irene joining you.
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. Sarah also ended up joining us, Sarah Fitzpatrick, and it was just great. We bonded as a team. We worked well together, especially because Sarah and Irene tend to play on the left side with me, so we used to just play up the line together. So it was really nice to move to the club and actually know some people already. And, Irene had some links in the team, so it was nice to just get there and automatically feel welcomed in. It was great.
Now, tell us a bit about the coach and what have you already learnt from your new coach?
For me, it would be working hard and just also having a bit of fun as well. Especially during the non-contact training that we were allowed to do during June, July, we did a lot of like technical, just like getting your feet going, and a lot of fun. Like, it's fun to do those kind of drills, like hurdles and like short, sharp sprints and all of that. And it's also just really good injury prevention and stuff as well. But yeah, I would always come out of those sessions feeling very sweaty and tired. So just working hard and just kind of learning where you can as well.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with Liv there. It was really nice to work on my technical skills. I came from a small country club. We didn't do a whole heap of that, so it's nice to catch up. Also, I think he just taught us how important having passion for the game is, because he's probably the most passionate coach I've ever had. He's very enthusiastic.
Yes, that's right. Now let's turn a bit about both your football journeys. Where did it all start, and why did you choose it?
Well, mine actually started at Box Hill when I was 6 years old. And I actually remember the day that the week before I started, I dropped my sister off at Box Hill training, and I said, "Mum, I want to play." And then the rest is history, really. So I was at Box Hill as a junior for, I think, 7 years. Then I kind of hopped around, and I've come back to my home.
For me, I was born in England, and I moved to country Victoria, New South Wales, and it was just a great way to make friends. I moved from England, so soccer's the main sport over there, and it was just nice to come over, see a really local club. Always an easy way to make friends with sport. And my brother played in England, and I wanted to be my brother. He was my idol, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get on that.
Yes, same here.
Well, I might as well go following up from that question. Mentioned about both of you have siblings that either used to play the sport or still play the sport. Now I have to ask, who's the better football player?
Definitely my brother. But don't tell him. Yeah.
I worked so hard to make sure I was better than my brother. It helped because he stopped playing when he was 16, so it gave me a little bit of an advantage.
Oh, yes.
Now, I know both of you, I think both of you have been involved in football premierships in the past. So my question I'm going to ask you is, what would be a highlight throughout both your football journeys?
Probably playing for Melbourne City was a highlight, and my time in America was cool. Playing at college there, it's very like it's pretty fun to be a student athlete at a college. They treat you very well, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, Melbourne City, it was great to play with like some of the Matildas and just get that experience and learn how to play in a professional environment.
So I think probably one of my most exciting things was moving to Melbourne and getting signed for South. You know, I always wanted to play for them. It was pretty much the only club I knew, to be honest. But they were just a great club, and I wasn't very good. I moved up from the country. I'd only ever played local soccer, and they signed me and gave me a chance. And then probably the highlight of that was I don't think I played much of the season at all. The last quarter of the season, I ended up playing every game, and I got to start in the finals, which I was just absolutely wrapped with.
Now, Paige, I believe you were involved in the South Melbourne Under-19s Premiership 2 years ago now, 2018. Tell us a bit about that game. Now, I was there to watch that game against Calder. Tell us a bit about that game in particular.
Oh, honestly, it was just a really enjoyable game. It wasn't too scrappy. I thought, as far as grand final games go, I thought it was pretty well matched. It was nice to win it, not going to lie, but it was good to have good competition out there. All the girls were lovely. We all played fairly. It was great.
And do you get a chance to hold the Premiership Cup? And how long did you wear your medal for? And did you wear it to bed?
I still haven't taken the medal off.
Brings it to training. Here it is.
It's attached to my bag. That's how I tell mine apart. I'm like, see that? It's a winner. No, I think I handed it straight to my parents. They were away on holidays when the game was, so they were a bit upset. So when they came back, I gave it straight to my dad. He put a lot of time and effort into it, and it was a big achievement for me. So it was really good.
I'm assuming you still got it now, Paige?
Oh, I think so. Well, they've definitely got it.
Now, Liv, you mentioned about your college journey. You must have tell us where that college was, and I guess, and have you convinced any of your former college teammates to come down to Australia and play?
Yes, so I was at Oregon State University, and well, as I mentioned, Nat, I played with her there, so she is one of them, and I think nobody else yet, but hopefully I've been trying to convince one of my other friends to come and play. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a few more because that'd be really fun. They're all really nice girls.
Now, if my memory serves me correct, Oregon State is the Beavers, I believe. If my memory is correct, yes. Good. I'm starting to remember all my American college nicknames. Now, tell us, how special was to be part of the Beaver country there in Oregon?
Yeah, it was so special, and especially they have one of the best college towns there, so the whole town just revolves around the uni, so it was so special being part of like the student athlete body there, because everybody just they always come up to you and say hi, and you're on the soccer team, and yeah, it was so special, and I really loved it.
Now, other than that, I'm assuming she's one of your, as you mentioned, one of your best friends, but also I'm assuming one of the best players that you've played alongside with that at Oregon State. Is there any other players that really stands out to you that you played alongside with?
Yes, so my good friend Catherine Baker, she was a very, very solid centre back and was also just a lot of fun to be around. And we were actually supposed to get Ali Pantuso. She is kind of a midfielder, a centre back as well, but she ended up getting a contract in France, so fortunately bumped our offer way down. But yeah, I mean, if that all goes away, we're always here and we're always welcoming to anybody. So it'd be cool to get some of those guys down.
Now, what position do both of you play on the field? If you had a preferred position where you love to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be?
As long as I'm put on the field, I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
But preferably, I like to be either a left full back or a centre back.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think Jorge was thinking about putting me in midfield, which would be fun, but I don't think I'm really up to it.
Well, at least it'd be a good challenge for you, Liv.
Yeah, it's something different. I kind of, don't mind anywhere in the back line. I used to play a little bit of winger, but these days don't quite have the skills or the pace.
Now, what does the Sport of the World game mean to both of you, and especially playing there at the beautiful venue at Wembley Park in Box Hill United?
For me, it's just, especially during isolation, I've really noticed how much I've missed it. There's been times where I've thought that maybe I'll hang up the boots for a while, but definitely not playing for a year has really cemented that it's like part of who I am, and I've played since I was 6 years old, so it's who I am, and I just love it. So when being back at Wembley Park, like I remember a lot of my junior games there, and just I remember playing against Box Hill and scoring a goal from a fair distance out, which I'll always remember as well. So it's special, and they've got such a good culture down there these days, and they're really supporting us women. So it's really nice to be a part of.
Soccer just means everything to me, to be honest. It's the social life as well as, keeps me fit, keeps me active. I just absolutely love it. Well, for the last 2-3 years, I revolved moving to Melbourne around it and all of that. So I can't really fault the game, especially Wembley Park. I was really excited to start to call that home. I haven't scored many goals in my NPL career so far, but one of them was at Wembley, so I thought that was quite nice.
So obviously both of you have had scored goals against Box Hill at Wembley Park. So the question I'm going to ask both of you is it difficult playing against Box Hill when you have to verse against them, and how good is it now to be on the other side of the fence?
Yes, it's good to be back. I remember when I first moved away and I was playing against Box Hill, I actually was cheering for them at one point by accident. So it's nice to be back here. And we have such a good culture this year. And I was really looking forward to playing with all the girls. Everyone was very nice, committed to the team, and really ready to play. And I mean, we have a young team, but I think we were going to really give the more experienced teams a good run for their money. And it would have been nice to watch us develop and improve along the way.
I always really liked the way Box Hill played. It was never boot it long and hope for the best, and it was never go into the tackles 100% and go into hurt. It was always really, I just thought it was a very professional way to play, so I always really liked playing. And I'm very happy to be on their team now, especially when they used to beat me. Quite happy to not be the one being beaten.
Now, the 2023 Women's World Cup is here in Australia and New Zealand. And of course, that got announced right at the start of the year, or close to the start of the year. When you heard that announcement, what did that mean to both of you?
I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was so good. It's so exciting to just, watch like professionals do what we do and get the recognition for it, I guess. Being a female soccer player, it's always a bit hard when you've got the men's game right there, always, in the news and everybody's talking about it. So I think it'll be great to see everyone talking about women's football. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Just the support that'll come along with it. It will show that it's a serious sport. People have to take them a bit more seriously than they do, which is fantastic. It also, I think it's going to offer a lot of opportunities, not just for women to get into the national team, but I think it's also going to encourage younger girls to get in and play. They're going to see all of the sportswomen out there playing their hardest. It's going to show everyone supporting them. It's going to be on the TV. You know, hopefully something like Caltex get like they did the men's, you know, it'll be everywhere, no matter where you look. I think it'll be a great promotion just for the sport in general as well.
Any future ambitions in the sport of the world game for both of you?
I would love to win a WNPL Cup and also probably play overseas again, somewhere in Europe would be lovely. But, you know, that's a dream at the moment.
A cup would be fantastic. I'd really like to, you know, do what Liv did and study overseas in America and play over there as well, play some college ball. That'd be fantastic. Really good opportunity, you know. Like Liv said, you get fully immersed in it, especially if you get somewhere as well off as you did. It'd be a really good experience.
Now, Liv, I forgot to ask this question to you about your college journey. I guess a two-part question. Firstly, was there a particular game that stand out to you while you played over there? And number two, have you gone back since?
The first question, yes, I remember there was a game in San Francisco when it was a few rounds in and they put me on, and I got smacked right in the face, which was a bit painful. But no, I just remember that game because it was the first time that I got a decent amount of minutes, and yeah, it was really intense. The college vibe over there it's a bit different to how we play. It's very full on, very fitness and kind of you have to be pretty strong on the ball. So that was a bit of a shock coming from very more like passing, more technical game here. And I haven't been back since, but I do plan on going back. Definitely to explore more of Oregon. Didn't get to do as much as I would have liked to, and just to visit some friends as well.
Now, what will be your advice to our listeners out there that should get down to Box Hill next year and support the team?
Just do it. It's a great club. Everyone's really welcoming. You know, I didn't really know that many people coming in, and everyone welcomed me open arms. They have great food. Absolutely love it. Team dinners after training is just fantastic. Always love it. I can always smell the food being cooked from across on the training ground, and it gets me excited to finish training.
Yes, I agree. It's such a great atmosphere, and I think everyone will be wanting to get out and about next year. And just supporting women's football is so important. You know, we may not get the crowds that the men get, but it would be cool if we get close, because we do have some pretty spectacular games. And yes, the food is always sold out before we get to eat it after our game.
Yes.
Very true.
Yes, agree with that. Let's finish up with a couple light-hearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, any embarrassing moments throughout the pre-season prior to lockdown?
I can't get over when Annie fell over. We were doing a training and we were doing some runs, and Annie just fell forward. Like, we don't even know what happened. She just fell, and it was just like it was in slow motion, and I swear she was falling for about 3 minutes.
Yeah. I was going to say Annie as well. I think she's fallen over a couple of times. Need to get the studs checked out there. Yeah.
I think it's because her legs are so long.
Yeah. Anytime Katie smacks into anyone, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's funny even if it's you. Maybe after the fact, though.
Any comedians in the team?
Oh, I'd say Liv's probably the closest comedian.
Oh.
Paige is pretty funny too.
No matter what everyone's bathed in, like, you can always get there and expect Liv to have a laugh.
Yes. I think most people laugh at me rather than with me.
It's still laughing. It's still comedy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny it, but it is comedy.
Yes.
Any good singers and dancers we should know about?
Sarah's got some TikToks. I don't know if they're dancing, but
yeah.
I definitely can't dance.
Yeah, definitely not a singer. I try dancing, but it's more just part of the laughing at me scenario.
Yeah. I think I'm more of like a 50-year-old dad who's been dancing his way through life. I just kind of stand there and twist a little bit.
Now, great segue from my next one. Now, Paige, you did mention about TikTok just a moment ago. Everyone on the team, who uses TikTok the most?
Oh, it'd have to be Sarah.
Yeah, or Irene.
Yeah, Irene's pretty good too. Yana.
I might pose that question to Irene when I have on the show sometime during the week about the TikTok. Either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Oh, mine's a little bit strange. I always, no matter what, I put my left sock on before I put my right sock on. But that's not just soccer. That is every day. I have to put my left sock on first. It's a rule. Almost think it's a law that people should follow, but always.
I used to have a lot of them. They got a bit annoying, so I've tried to cut them down, but definitely the banana pre-game snack.
Oh, yeah, agree. Always banana.
Yeah, I'm the same as Paige, but I'm opposite. Everything goes on the right foot first. And, yeah.
We should sit next to each other and eat our banana and then do it.
Oh, I can't wait to see how the sock technique will go because of your superstitions. Now we'll finish up with these last two. Now, during our lockdown, have either you tried anything new? And if so, do you have a hidden talent that you didn't think you had?
I've started boxing, which has been a bit of fun. Can't say I would take it up and it would take over soccer, but it is fun and it's good exercising. And as far as non-exercise related things gone, I have done absolutely nothing.
Like I said earlier, I took up skipping. I definitely wouldn't call it a talent, not even close. But I'm now getting pretty proficient in just doing basic skips. So I mean, look, it's taken a lot of time, but I'm pretty proud of myself.
You're now at preschool level, Paige?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I did it for about 30 seconds in a row the other day without making a mistake. And I was like, that's it, I've made it.
And one last one. Now, I'm assuming, we mentioned about embarrassing moments with your teammates. Have either of you done any embarrassing moments throughout either your football journeys?
Falling over in general, like when you've got like a new ball and it's sticky and it just sticks to your boot and you just fall, getting nuttied all the time.
Yes.
I always hate the forgetting your boots to a game because it seems important, but I've done it twice. Like I used to play for a country team and like the closest game we had was an hour away, and I've got to say I rocked up twice without boots. And being in an under-16s boy team, so all of the guys were just like, you're an idiot, and like they all have like size 8 feet. I'm a 4. I had like a pair of socks in the bottom of some old boots that some smelly boy had been wearing for 2 seasons, and it's just never fun.
That's great.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, both of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. This is definitely one of the best ones we've had this year. Well, can't wait to come down to Wembley Park next year and hopefully watch your team in action. We'll be supporting right behind the Box Hill United team next season. Let's hope you can make the finals again next year and hopefully go all the way and win it all, and especially go one step further in the Nike Cup competition.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No worries. And that's Paige and Liv there from the Box Hill United National Premier League women's team. Of course, next year, make sure you get down there to the beautiful Wembley Park on Canterbury Road in Box Hill South during the 2021 season. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on Lockdown Tuesday.